it was all out of one material, and the metal could go on the roof as well as the walls. And the metal workers, for the most part, do ducts behind the ceilings and stuff. And
intelligence that has previously remained, for the most part, untapped. And then the third part is, what are the potential problems or the sort of dark side of blogs as we know, being guessers? But for the most part, the group's guess would be better than just about all of you. And what's fascinating is that you can see this phenomenon at work in many more complicated situations.
And these really aggressive behaviors, for the most part, are directed against individuals of the neighboring social group. They are very territorially
but they're also really useful for exploring a hypothesis. Biologists, on the most part, are still using a paper and pencil to visualize the processes they study. And with the data we have now, that's just...
Telling has remained unchanged. And for the most part, the stories are recycled. But the way that humans tell the stories has always evolved with pure, consistent novelty.
Is full of wonder. But the world of graphic design, for the most part, is not. So I'm using my own writings as a kind of testing ground for a book that...
Poison, the dog might not bark, and in fact this is my dog Tessie, who doesn't bark. But for the most part, we're good at this. For the most part, we make good guesses, both in the social domain and the non-social domain.
But I also could feel tension on the ground, because actually all those people were made of people who were, for the most part, considered each other enemies. So I start the war.
It's been my experience that when people take the time to interact with one another, it doesn't take long to realize that for the most part, we all want the same things out of life. However, in every religion, the quiet, chubby new kid in class was more than enough ammunition. So for the most part, I spent my time at home reading books and watching TV or playing video games.